She was born in rural Mississippi. She grew up so poor that she wore dresses made of potato sacks. By the time she was 14, she was molested by 3 different men, ran away from home, got pregnant, gave birth, and then lost her son. She was poor, emotionally scarred, overweight, and living in a world where women like her did not really amount to much. But she could speak. Oh boy, could she speak. She could recital Bible verses at the age of 3, earning her the nickname, the preacher. She spoke her way to her very first job. She spoke her way to a college scholarship, and she spoke her way to the very top. Today, she's one of the most powerful women alive, and when she speaks, the world takes notice. We even have a name for it, the Oprah effect. Now, my own life story is not nearly as inspiring as Oprah's, but I did learn one truth about achieving goals that I want to share with you today. I first became aware of it when I wanted something really, really badly, but all the odds were stacked against me. I was 22 and doing my bachelor's at the University of Belgrade in Serbia, and I applied to Cambridge. Honestly, I had no idea if I was good enough, but even if I wasn't, it seemed like such an unattainable goal that it wouldn't affect my self-esteem too much. I mean, Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking, and me? But then it came. A beige envelope telling me I was good enough, and they would be happy to have me, conditionally. The condition being I had to pay 20,000 euros for tuition expenses and 10,000 more for the cost of living during a 1-year master program. So there it was, my dream. So close, I could almost touch it, yet so far out of reach, I didn't dare think about it. How could I? My whole family earned less than 10,000 euros per year. But still, that acceptance letter gave me all the validation I needed. Money or no money, I was kind of a Cambridge student. So I started thinking like one. I reached out to various organizations, both in Serbia and in the UK. I talked to anyone who would listen. And just like Oprah, somehow, I talked my way into a scholarship. It only covered tuition fees, though, and the remaining 10,000 euros was still prohibitively expensive. But I thought like a Cambridge student again. I started reaching out to my network. I started contacting my mother's clients, small and medium-sized businesses, asking if they would be willing to sponsor me. It was such a ridiculous idea, building an export-import company, sponsoring a linguistics student, but many of them said yes. So 5 months after receiving that letter, all the money was collected and I was on my way to Cambridge. But I learned the most important lesson before ever setting foot there. And the lesson is, if you want it, live it. By living my life as though I was a Cambridge student already, my entire way of thinking changed. I came up with ideas I never would have before. I projected the confidence I've never had before. I did the things I could only dream of before. If you want it, live it. Oprah knew this too. Growing up in rural Mississippi, do you know how she used to spend her days? Interviewing her dolls and crows in the field. Now, this very simple idea works in other contexts as well. Some time ago, I was talking to a person who was complaining about how difficult it was to find a life partner, that one true person for you. So naturally, I asked, okay, what is it that you're looking for exactly? And he said, well, she has to be intelligent and funny and hardworking, and she needs to have a fulfilling career. But, you know, her career shouldn't be her whole life, so she would need to have some hobbies on the side as well and interests. And, you know, physical appearance is not a priority for me, but hey, I'm almost 2 meters tall, so she shouldn't be too short, ideally. The list went on and on. Basically, he was looking for a combination of Sheryl Sandberg and Jennifer Lawrence. I did not say that. What I did say, though, was, okay, let's assume that that girl is out there somewhere, and she's looking for her life partner. How many of those boxes would you say you could tick? And then it hit him. The girl of his dreams would never be attracted to a guy like him. Now, don't get me wrong, he was intelligent and funny and a great person, but at that point, he was stuck in a job he hated. He didn't have enough time for anything. He started gaining weight. He had confidence issues. You get the picture. But at that point, he realized that if he wanted that partner, he needed to live up to his ideals. Now, this did not happen overnight. It took a couple of years to get there, but he did rediscover a hobby that he loved. He did slowly take up running, and he did get more fit. And after about a year and a half, he finally mastered the courage to quit that job he hated and start his own company. And the girl? Well, of course, she came along. But she doesn't tick all the boxes. She's 160, and the height difference between them is ridiculous, but you win some, you lose some. If you want it, live it. I'm using that same way of thinking at this very moment. I'm somewhere exactly in the middle of my weight loss journey. So this was me 2 years ago, and this is me now. The difference is more than 30 kilos. And what I learned is the only way to keep my hands off sweets and get me to exercise regularly is to live as though I've already reached that goal. Do you want a fit body? Live as though you already have one. And also, I'm not going to say that I genuinely enjoy going to the gym on a cold and rainy day, but this body has been carrying a lot of extra weight around. It has been there for me throughout it all. And even on a cold and rainy day, I genuinely enjoy watching myself become faster, better, stronger every single day. Now, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, there is a future you that got there already. Now, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is the future you, the one that's reached that goal, that's not you. That future you knows the things you don't know yet. They have developed habits you have yet to develop. They behave differently than you. You cannot wish yourself to a goal. It does take hard work and dedication and sacrifice. But there is still good news. The future you, the person that has reached the goal already, is still kind of you. They have the same goals, hopes, and dreams. They have the same character traits and the same abilities, both strengths and weaknesses. So what you need to do to reach a goal is learn what that person knows and do exactly what they would do. If you want it, live it. So whatever it is you're trying to achieve at the moment, however difficult it might be, picture yourself at the end of that journey. Honestly believe that you're there, because you are. It's just a matter of time. Take a long, hard look at the future you who has reached that goal and ask yourself, is this what I really want? And if it is, if you love seeing yourself out there, if you really want it, get out there and live it. Thank you.